I'm Allen Iverson of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Iverson, wow, what a fake on Daniels as he broke his ankles. The steal by Iverson, posting in. He went down.
The rise and fall of Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson wasn't just a basketball player. He was a movement. He brought the streets to the NBA, crossed up legends, and turned 6 feet of swagger into a global phenomenon. But behind the highlights, tattoos, and MVP trophies was a story filled with pain, pressure, and personal battles. From blowing millions to redefining basketball culture, Iverson's rise was electric, and his fall unforgettable. So what really happened to Allen Iverson? How did he go from an icon to a cautionary tale? Well, let's find out. Allen Iverson's rough start. Allen Iverson's story started on the tough streets of Hampton, Virginia, a place where survival often came before dreams. Born on June 7, 1975, Iverson was raised by a single mother, Ann Iverson, who had him when she was just 15. Money was tight, but Allen's talent wasn't. He was electric on both the football field and basketball court, often leading his teams deep into state championships. By the time he was a teenager, people weren't just talking about him in Virginia. They were calling him the best athlete in the state. He led Bethel High School to state titles in both football and basketball. In 1993, he was named the Associated Press High School Player of the Year in both sports, something that had never happened before. But just when his future looked brightest, everything nearly came undone. That same year, he was involved in a bowling alley brawl that turned into a national headline. The incident was racially charged and highly controversial. Despite limited evidence and conflicting witness accounts, Iverson, just 17 years old at the time, was sentenced to 15 years in prison, with 10 suspended. He served 4 months at a correctional facility before Virginia Governor Douglas Wilder granted him clemency. The incident nearly derailed his life, but it also lit a fire under him. He'd later say that jail taught him how quickly everything could be taken away. After his release, most major colleges wanted nothing to do with him, all except one, Georgetown. Coach John Thompson took a chance on the young guard, and it changed everything. At Georgetown, Iverson became a star. In just 2 seasons, he averaged 23 points per game, the highest in school history at the time. He led the Hoyas to the Elite Eight in 1996 and was named Big East Defensive Player of the Year both years. He was a relentless scorer and the heartbeat of his team. He declared for the NBA draft after his sophomore year. That decision proved right.
The Philadelphia 76ers select Allen Iverson from Georgetown University.
At just 6 feet tall, he became the shortest player ever drafted first overall. But no one questioned his impact. His rookie season would leave no doubts. Iverson was here to change the game. He walked into the league with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. But it wasn't just about playing the game, it was about rewriting the rules. But before that, if you're enjoying the video, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Now, moving on. Rewriting the game. When Iverson entered the NBA in 1996, standing just 6 feet tall and weighing 165 pounds, he didn't look like the prototype of an NBA star. But from the moment he stepped on the court, he forced everyone to pay attention. He averaged 23.5 points, 7.5 assists, and 2.1 steals per game in his rookie season, putting defenders on skates and audiences on notice. His iconic crossover on Michael Jordan wasn't just highlight material, it was symbolic.
Watch this. Big, nice play.
Tell me about the little guy's crossover.
Very quick. He handles the ball very well.
This was Iverson saying, "I don't care who you are, I'm coming for you." That same year, he was named Rookie of the Year, beating out names like Stephen Marbury and Ray Allen. It was clear, the league had never seen anything like him. What set him apart wasn't just his stats, it was how he played. He attacked every possession like it owed him money, fearless, fast, and completely unfiltered. He hit the lane against 7-footers with no hesitation, crashing into bodies like he had something to prove.
Iverson behind his back, yes!
He played hurt, played angry, and played with the kind of energy that made fans ride with him and coaches lose sleep. His cornrows, tattoos, and baggy clothes drew criticism from NBA execs and media, but Iverson didn't care. He wasn't trying to fit into the league. He made the league adjust to him. His peak came in the 2000-2001 season. He was unstoppable, averaging 31.1 points per game and leading a ragtag Sixers team to the best record in the East. He was named League MVP, becoming the shortest player in NBA history to win the award. That same year, he carried Philadelphia through the playoffs, dropping 40-plus points in multiple games and refusing to quit. Then came the finals. Up against the juggernaut Lakers, Iverson opened Game 1 with 48 points, including that iconic step-over Tyronn Lue. The Sixers lost the series 4-1, but nobody questioned who the star was. He left everything on the court. Then came the moment that would live forever, off the court. The infamous practice press conference in 2002.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Frustrated by media criticism and dealing with the death of a close friend,
I lost my best friend. I lost him.
Iverson's rant about being questioned for missing practice became a pop culture moment. It was misunderstood, memed, and replayed endlessly, but at its core, it showed a man under pressure being as raw and real as ever. He had taken the league by storm, broken the mold, and made sure his name echoed beyond the stat sheet. And while he was becoming a legend on the court, something else was brewing. He wasn't just shaping basketball. He was becoming the face of a cultural shift that would shake the league to its core. Cultural icon in the hip-hop era. You see, Allen Iverson walked into the NBA with cornrows, full sleeves of tattoos, and diamond earrings that could blind a camera flash. Back then, that look wasn't just unusual, it was unacceptable to many. He brought the aesthetics of the streets into NBA arenas, and whether the league liked it or not, he wasn't changing for anyone. Iverson didn't care about looking like a corporate face of a franchise. He cared about being himself, and that authenticity made him a lightning rod and a symbol. In a league that still clung to button-up professionalism, he made it cool to be raw and real. The way he dressed, talked, and carried himself mirrored the hip-hop scene, not the NBA's clean-cut poster boy image. He didn't just listen to rap, he lived it. You'd see him courtside with artists like Jadakiss, Betty Siegel, and Nas. He wasn't hanging with them to boost his image. These were people who saw themselves in him. He even recorded a rap album under the name Jules, though it was shelved after controversy. This deep connection to hip-hop made Iverson feel more like an MC than a point guard. He had swagger, grit, and a fearless honesty that people gravitated to, but not everyone embraced it. In 2005, then-Commissioner David Stern implemented a strict NBA dress code, banning things like baggy jeans, oversized t-shirts, do-rags, and heavy jewelry, basically everything he wore. It was a direct response to the wave of players who adopted his look. The league wants suits, Iverson gave them sweats and a fitted cap. Many saw the dress code as coded racism, a way to sanitize the league's growing hip-hop influence. Iverson wasn't fazed. He kept being himself. But what he started was bigger than him. He made it okay for future stars to express themselves beyond the game. Today's NBA, full of tunnel fashion, tattoos, and artists courtside, is living in the culture he helped build. He didn't ask permission to be real. He made being real the standard. But being a cultural icon doesn't come without a price. As the spotlight got brighter, the cracks started to show. Fame, pressure, and personal demons started catching up to him. Off-court struggles. For all the glory Allen Iverson earned on the court, his life off it was often messy, painful, and public. When the game stopped, the problems didn't. In fact, they only got louder. He made over $200 million during his career, between NBA contracts and endorsements, but by the early 2010s, headlines were floating around that he was broke. Court records showed he was deep in debt, unable to pay jewelry tabs, and even at risk of losing his home. At one point, he told a judge he only had a few dollars to his name. The truth was probably more complicated, but it was clear he'd blown through a massive fortune with little to show for it. Part of the chaos stemmed from his personal life. Iverson and his high school sweetheart, Tawana Turner, had 5 kids together, but their relationship was turbulent. They divorced in 2013 after years of public ups and downs, including claims of infidelity, verbal abuse, and even accusations that he once locked his kids in a hotel room during a custody dispute. It was messy, painful, and splashed across headlines, far removed from the image of the fearless baller Philly once worshipped. Legal issues followed him too. From traffic violations to bar fights and financial lawsuits, Iverson's name kept showing up in the wrong places. There were no massive scandals that landed him behind bars, but the constant flow of trouble added up. There were reports of unpaid debts, failed business ventures, and unpaid child support. At one point, his bank account was reportedly seized to pay a jewelry store $859,000. It all painted the picture of a man who had once ruled the league but now couldn't manage a credit card. Then came the endorsements, or lack thereof. Once a Reebok icon with his own signature line, he slowly saw deals fade. Companies grew wary of his image. Rumors of drinking and gambling followed him from city to city. There were whispers that he spent nights at casinos before games, that his inner circle drained him financially, and that he was his own worst enemy. Whether all of it was true or not didn't matter. Public perception had shifted. The NBA's rebel had become a cautionary tale. But even when it looked like everything had fallen apart, Iverson didn't disappear. In fact, he found something even more powerful than stats or money: redemption. Redemption and legacy. By 2016, he had been out of the league for years. He'd taken his hits financially, publicly, and personally, but he hadn't disappeared. When the call came that year, it wasn't just validation. It was a full circle moment. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. During his speech, he got emotional, thanking everyone from his family to Coach John Thompson to rappers like Jadakiss and Tupac. The same guy who had once been vilified by the media was now standing in front of basketball royalty, being honored as one of the greatest to ever touch a ball, and nobody could say he didn't earn it. Despite all his setbacks, he had something most players don't: loyalty from the culture and the city that watched him grow. The Philadelphia 76ers never forgot what he meant to them. Over the years, they honored him with multiple jersey tributes and court ceremonies. In 2024, they unveiled a statue of him outside the team's Camden facility, a full bronze Iverson, mid-crossover, frozen in time. It wasn't just about the points he scored, it was what he stood for. Philly doesn't show love unless you give it everything. Iverson did that every night. Even off the court, he found financial stability. The Reebok Trust Fund deal he had signed during his playing days, reportedly guaranteeing him $800,000 annually and a $32 million payout when he turns 55, turned out to be a lifeline. While he faced turbulence financially in the short term, that Reebok contract ensured he'd never be completely down and out. It was a rare, smart move in a career full of hard lessons. But maybe the most lasting part of Iverson's legacy is his influence. Players like Kyrie Irving, Ja Morant, and even older stars like Chris Paul have all credited Iverson as the one who gave them permission to be themselves. He made it okay to play with emotion, to wear your story on your sleeve, literally. You can see his DNA in the modern game: the flash, the attitude, the crossover, the edge. He didn't just change the league, he helped raise the next generation of it. And maybe that's the most powerful part of his legacy. Not what he scored, but what he survived. His story doesn't just belong to basketball, it belongs to anyone trying to make their way back from rock bottom. So what do you think about Allen Iverson's journey? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more stories that go beyond the game.